You're listening to the British Baseball Podcast. Hello, baseball fans. Matthew here once again with your Around the Bases roundup of British baseball action. I'm sat in my lovely little pink chair, which is my son, so this could go at any moment, and I'll leave it in as an outtake for you all to laugh at me if it does give way under my bulk. We're going to start off as we usually do with news and notes from around the league, and we're going to start off with the trivia from last week. And I've decided to change this from a question to answer format to just giving straight up trivia. So the answer to last week's question, the professional team was the Birmingham team with Birmingham AV or Aston Villa from the football club that was partnered with the baseball team. And the amateur answer for the cup was the Preston North End team. So this week's fact is the first ever game of baseball played on the 12th of September, 1749 at Ashley Park. There was a blue plaque awarded to it in 2019. In attendance at the blue plaque ceremony on the 7th of July at Walton Cricket Club, which is in Walton-on-Thames, KT121ET for your satellite navigation if you want to go and see it. In Ashley Park were players made up from BBF clubs and our national team who played an exhibition game. So let's get on now to the news. We have some great news coming out of the Midlands. We're starting off with Long Eaton Storm. Their Facebook page announced that they are having a joint women's team for the Derby and Nottingham area, and that's forming soon. And they're looking for players and volunteers as training starts on Monday, the 30th of August at 6 p.m. at West Park in Long Eaton at the Leisure Centre entrance to West Park. No experience is necessary, and you'll get the chance to learn from some ex-GB coaches and some players. Staying in the Midlands, the Leicester Blue Sox have also launched their women's team, the Leicester Diamonds. If you're interested in joining and maybe you know someone who is, go to @BlueSoxBaseball on Twitter or pop over to leicesterbluesox.co.uk and register your interest there. A fun piece coming out of Tonbridge Baseball Club saw the Hurricanes youth baseball team have a parents versus kids session over the weekend, which was a huge success. Game one ended up an absolute slugfest with Shane Groves in his first ever at-bat and Dan Rose going yards for the dads, but ultimately the kids chipped away and won 11 runs to 10. Game two saw the mums take to the field versus the kids, which was a tight game, and another first at-bat dinger was crushed by mum Naomi Rose, but again, the kids ruled the weekend and won 13 runs to 12. The GB national team have gained another spot in the rankings, moving up to 32nd, with the nationals upon us now. Hopefully the under-23s and the men's seniors will do something over in Italy to push that number up even further. Good luck, everyone out there in Italy. And the British Baseball Federation has now signed up to the BSUK Development Charter after a number of productive conversations between BSUK senior management and the BBF board. Let's have a look then at the BSUK Player of the Week. And this week, it's Stephen Evans of the Granite City Oilers up in Aberdeen. Congratulations, Stephen. And you'll find out how he got that title in the Scottish Roundup, which is where we are going to start over in Baseball Scotland with ball caps and bagpipes' very own John McKellar. Over to you, John.
Hi Matt, this is John from Ball Caps and Bagpipes for your Baseball Scotland weekly roundup for Sunday, August 15th, 2021. First result we have here is Glasgow Galaxy 15-3 victors over Tayport Breakers. The Galaxy improved to 3-5 on the season, while the Breakers are still winless at 0-9. The Glasgow Comets were in Edinburgh and were beaten 17-2 by first placed Edinburgh Diamond Devils, who are now firmly with that result in reach of their first championship in a few years. Both the Cannons and the Comets lost, so are still tied for second, now on 5-3 records. The other result being the Granite City Oilers, who improved to 4-4, winning 42 over the Cannons in Aberdeen. That's your weekly roundup for this week. Thank you, Matt, and back to you.
Cheers, John. Don't forget to check out Caps and Pipes wherever you get your podcast from. Great chat and conversation there in all their shows, and you can catch up on all their work historically too, again, wherever you get your podcast from. So have a quick check of the cables, as this is the second attempt at recording this, as the first one went a bit pear-shaped. So let's have a look then at the standings in Baseball Scotland. We have the AAA, which is your regular teams. Edinburgh Diamond Devils absolutely storming it this season with 8 wins and 1 loss. The Edinburgh Cannons in second spot with 5 wins and 3 losses. And the Comets are tied there for that second spot, again with 5 and 3. Granite City Oilers are 4 and 4, and Glasgow Galaxy are at the bottom there with 3 and 5. And it was the BSUK Player of the Week, Stephen Evans, for the Oilers, with 7 innings pitched, with 1 hit, 2 runs, and 14 strikeouts. So well done there, Stephen. On to the BBF leagues. We are excited to have the return of WB UK, the women's baseball, and that was held at Finsbury Park, the home of the London Mayhem. And they faced the Bells this week, and it was the Bells that won that game 17 runs to 14. The Bristol Bobcats took on the Sheffield Bruins, and that was 7 runs to 3 in favour of the Bruins. And in the final played game was the Telford 26ers versus the Bristol Bobcats in a very close 7 runs to 6. 26ers victory. The Cambridge Valkyries unfortunately weren't able to play this weekend, so they forfeited, and it was a 5-0 victory to the games that they should have played there. And the WB UK table looks like this. We have the London Mayhem at the top spot with 8 wins, 2 losses. Bells Baseball in second place with 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 tied game. In third place is Sheffield Bruins with 7 wins, 3 losses, no tied. The Telford 26ers are at the 4th spot with 3 wins, 6 losses, 1 tied game. Bristol Bobcats with 1 win, 7 losses, and 1 tied game. And the Cambridge Valkyries in tied 5th with the same record of 1-7 and 1. And now to the NBL. We have a game that made headlines in the Twitter sphere, and that was between the Hearts Falcons and London Legends at Grove Hill Ballpark in Hemel Hempstead. A game that was very high scoring and extremely close. It was an absolute slugfest with a total of 39 runs scored in total, with home runs from Jack McCarthy and Daniel Gonzalez that helped the Legends to a healthy lead. But Hearts came all the way back in the 7th to walk it off, scoring 11 runs in the bottom of the 7th, including a 3-run home run from Mike Cresswell. And that was 19 runs to 20 in favour of Hearts Falcons. Game 2. We saw Legends come back with an advance in game 2. Jack McCarthy getting his second home run of the day, and Daniel Gonzalez went 6 innings on the mound, striking out 10. But the Legends won that one 18 runs to 4. Over to Enfield playing fields in London with the London Capitals and the London Mets. Top of the table clash with a lot to play for both sides. Singles from Jamie Dix and Rory Chandler in the top of the second put the Mets in the lead, and another 2 runs in the bottom of the third got the runs they needed, despite a late comeback by the Capitals on Elio Cadeno 2 RBI double. Mitchell Von Schied got the win from the mound for the Mets. Game 2 saw big days at the plate from Michael Banagale and Sam Sproul, with both getting 3 RBIs each. Brian Laneoff getting the win with 6 strikeouts for the Mets, as they won that one 10 runs to 3. And let's have a look then at the standings for the NBL. London Mets taking the top spot, and that's with 25 wins and 3 losses. The London Capitals with 20 wins and 4 losses in second place. The Essex Arrows with 15 wins and 13 losses take third. The Lancashire Legends in 4th place with 8 wins, 17 losses. And the London Legends not far behind them with 8 wins and 18 losses for 5th spot. And Hearts Falcons with that victory now have them with 1 win and 22 losses. So then let's have a look at the AAA scores. We had a forfeited game over at Williamsfield in Hadlow, with the London Mammoths taking a 7-0 victory over the Kent Buccaneers forfeit for their 2 games. But in Finsbury Park, the London Marauders faced the East London Latin Boys AAA side. This hard-fought game was won in extra innings with a walk-off single to centre field by Joe O'Connell after a duel between both teams, and that was 6 runs to 5 for the Marauders. Game 2 will go in the favour of the Latin Boys, 11 runs to 1. Juan Alberto Arajuo had a great day at the plate with 3 RBIs on 2 hits, and Latin Boys pitchers only allowed 1 run on 3 hits in their Mercy Rule victory. Moving to Floodfield in Ham, where the Richmond Knights AAA side welcomed the Essex Arrows. It was a day where went for 4 and 6 with RBI to help his team get the win. Essex had big innings in the how to reach if the Knights had carried on to score, but it was 28 runs to 9 in favour of the Essex Arrows. It beat Arrows at take game 2 as well, 15-0. Moving to the Salford Sports Club in Salford, where Vectra and the Bournemouth Bears battled out in 2 close encounters. Chris Lawson was solid at the plate, going 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs with a double. Jose Lopez also pitched his team to the win, whilst also hitting a double with 2 RBIs, as game 1 went 7 runs to 6 in favour of the Bournemouth Bears. And Vectra were headed ahead early after 4 runs scored, but a 5-run 7th inning helped the Bears take a lead. But then the bottom, Vectra tied it up again. It was extra innings that took the game all the way up to 9 innings when the Bears took the lead on a Chris Lawson single, and that close game was 8 runs to 7 in favour of the Bears. Let's have a look then at the standings in the AAA. AAA South sees the East London Latin Boys with 13 wins and 6 losses, and they take number 1 spot. Joint second place is the Essex Arrows and the Essex Redbacks with both 14 wins and 7 losses. 4th spot is the London Marauders with 13 wins and 7 losses, with the London Mammoths at 11 and 8, and the Kent Buccaneers AAA side with 2 wins, 16 losses, and Richmond Knights in 7th spot with 2 wins and 18 losses. AAA South Western Wales looks like this. Bournemouth Bears AAA team are at the top, 12 wins, 4 losses, with Vectra with 13 and 7 in second place. South West Rebellions have a 9 and 9 split, and the Bristol Badgers are 2 and 16. BBF AA sees the Townley playing fields in Waltham Abbey, the Essex Archers taking on the Hearts Hawks. Unfortunately, that game was forfeited by Hearts, so the Archers get 2 wins there, 7-0. But then as we move on to Wharton on the green playing field, Milton Keynes Bucks hosted the Oxford Kings, and Joshua Ralph Barrett had another big game with 4 hits, 4 runs scored, 2 RBIs and a home run to help the Bucks get their win, 11 runs to 7 in game 1. And in game 2, Josh Baden-Horst struck out 10 to help his team get the win, whilst Joshua Ralph Barrett again played very well, going 3 for 3 with 4 runs scored, and that was 13 runs to 3 in game 2. Moving to Enfield playing fields in London, where the Sidewinders took on the Croydon Pirates. The Sidewinders take the win in game 1, despite a great performance from Joel Hernandez for the Pirates, who went 4 for 4. Sidewinders held off a late comeback from the Pirates to win by 1 run, as that was 10 runs to 9. And game 2, a 4 first and 6th inning meant the Sidewinders got the mercy rule win, with Manny Oladiye and had 6 hits, scoring 3 runs while leading off for the Sidewinders, and that one ended 12 runs to 2. So the single A Central looks like this. The Milton Keynes Bucks are 21 and 1 in top spot. The Cambridge Monarchs are 15 and 7. Oxford Kings in 3rd place, 13 and 10. Essex Archers AA are split 12 and 12. Norwich Ice a win this season with 0 wins and 29. The AA South East has the Sidewinders at the top of the table with 24 and 2. Croydon Pirates in 2nd spot with 20 wins and 7 losses. Guildford Mavericks 14 and 11. London Musketeers are 13 and 11. Richmond Dragons with 5 wins and 23 losses. And the East London Latin Boys AA are 2 and 24. BBF Single A, we had quite a lot of action again and runs galore. Can't wait to tell you about all these ones. We're going to start off at Grovefield Ballpark in Hemel Hempstead for the Hearts Raptors and the London Minotaurs game. The Minotaurs had 31 stolen bases in game 1 to the Raptors 29 stolen bases, but London topped it off with 11 RBIs as a team to get the runs that they needed, as they won 17 runs to 12. Game 2, Hearts came back from defeat in the first game to stay on it and walk it off in the bottom of the 5th with a John Shawstad single, and that was 15 runs to 14 for the Raptors. To Finsbury Park again for the London Mustangs versus the Essex Redbacks. A Giorgio Diana double scored the go-ahead run for the Mustangs in the bottom of the 3rd to get the win in game 1, which was 5 runs to 3 to the Mustangs. And a 5-run 1st and 4th inning won the Mustangs the game in game 2, with Adieta Gillette going 5 innings on the mound, striking out 9, and that was 11 runs to 8. Over to Somerdale Pavilion in Keesham, and we have the Bristol Bats taking on the Bristol Brunels. The Brunels had more hits than the Bats, but the Bats took the lead early and never gave it back with a 5-run 1st and 2nd inning, and it was the Bats winning game 1, 20 runs to 10. And in game 2, A very close encounter. Joseph Sutcliffe went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and Michael Comport went 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs, but it wasn't enough to stop the bats, with Anthony Desjardins going 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs to help the bats sweep the Brunos as they took game to 12 runs to 11. Now, Cardiff Midlands continue their undefeated run, but it was at the cost of a Bears forfeit. So 2 Merlins wins 7-0 for them this week. I'm sure they won't mind either way. And then as we go to Victoria Park in Taunton, the Taunton Muskets took on the Western Jets, and we've got one score available for you here, and that's 16-7 to the Muskets. Chris Kramer and Chris Charney both had 4 RBIs each to help their team take a big lead again against the Jets, and Taunton had a team batting average of .704. Back to Bristol, and Bristol Buccaneers at Sunderland Pavilion taking on the Cornish Clay Cutters. High scoring first game. James Shaw went 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs and 3 doubles to help the Clay Cutters get the win in game 1, 19 runs to 13. And in game 2, Lee Ames and the Clay Cutters kept the bats going in game 2, with Lee going 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs for the team and 11 RBIs throughout the whole game. And it was 16 runs to 7 in game 2. No stats to talk about at Aylesford Bulls Rugby Club for the Kent Mariners hosting the Kent Buccaneers single A team, but it was the Buccaneers that won both of those. It was 14 runs to 11 in game 1 and 12 runs to 7 game 2. So the single A standings look like this. We have the single A Central, London Mustangs in top spot with 20-2, and Essex Redbacks in second place with 20-4. Hearts Raptors in third place with 6 wins, 9 losses. The Hearts Eagles are fourth spot with 6 wins, 14 losses. And completing the Hearts hat trick is the Hearts Londoners there in fifth place with 6 and 15. And London Minotaurs with 6 wins and 20 losses. Single A7 sees the undefeated Marlins of Cardiff at the top with 16 wins, 0 losses. The Bristol Bats are in second spot with 13 wins, 3 losses, no tie games. Bournemouth Bears Single A are 7 and 9. And the Bristol Brunos are 5 wins, 11 losses. Single A South, the Brighton Brewers are at the top with 18 runs, 2 losses. Guildford Goldcats are 14 and 9. Third spot, not too far behind them, and the Brighton Jets with 13 and 9. Bracknell Inferno is split 10-10, and Richmond Dukes in fifth place with 4 wins, 12 losses, 1 tied game. And Guildford Millers a bottom spot with 3 wins, 20 losses, and 1 tied game. The Single A South East sees the Tonbridge Wildcats with a 15 wins, 6 loss, 1 tie game record. Second place is Kent Mariners with 10, 7 and 1. Tonbridge Bobcats with a split 9 and 9 win-loss ratio. And you have the Kent Buccaneers single A team with 7 wins, 9 losses. South Coast Sea Dogs and South Coast Pirates a joint bottom with the Sea Dogs with 2 wins, 12 losses. I don't know what's happened with the South Coast Pirates, but they just currently have 2 losses to their record. Single A West 6 is the Western Jets in top spot with 6 wins, 7 losses. The Taunton Muskets are 5 and 6 in second place. Third place, the Cornish Clay Cutters with 5 and 7. And Bristol Bucks are 2 and 16. The weather didn't disrupt too many games in the British Baseball League, but unfortunately, I've not got all the scores together. So I'll try and give you an overall picture again when I can get more scores for you. Manchester were in action against Liverpool. That's Manchester Rays at Norman Wells Field. Andy Brown was there to paint it. So check out his YouTube channel to see how that game went and to get insight into where that he did there. And also the Bees, they got beat against Hull Scorpions at Wythenshawe Park. I wasn't there for that one because I was at a 4th birthday party in Leicestershire with the little one. If you'd like a roundup of that action, that's a different podcast, which will never be released. So instead, we're going to move swiftly along now to the East of England Baseball League. I'm just going to get the scores up there. So we had the Cambridge Royals at home to the Norwich Warriors. Every team this week, won 1, lost 1. So the Cambridge Royals took game 1. The Norwich Warriors took game 1, 9 runs to 8. And it was the Cambridge Royals taking game 2, 13 runs to 7. The Cambridge Lancers welcomed the Northants Centurions as they took game 1, 11 runs to 6, but the Centurions would take game 2, 13 runs to 9. Essex Redbacks were against the Milton Keynes Bucks, and that was 12 runs to 4 for the home side Redbacks. And in game 2, the Bucks will win that one, 20 runs to 3. And their table looks like this. Brentwood Stacks have played 20, won 16 and lost 4. They're in the top place. Milton Keynes Bucks have also played 20 with 15 and 5. Northampton Centurions played 22, won 14, lost 8. Cambridge Lancers have played 20, won 12 and lost 8, with Essex Redbacks playing 22, winning 13 and losing 9. Cambridge Royals 22 played with 6 wins, 16 losses. Norwich Warriors 20 played, 4 wins, 16 losses, and Bay Area Blues have played 14, won none, but trying hard and losing 14. If you're wondering why you've heard the Bucks of Milton Keynes and the Essex Redbacks in the East of England Baseball League as well, that's developmental territory for those teams. So let's have a look now at the West Midlands Baseball League scores. Just going to move quickly on. This is 9 innings. And it was the Telford Giants hosting the Wolverhampton Wolves. Rare one here where the Wolves didn't score, and it was 10-0 to the Telford Giants. Birmingham Metalheads travelled to Stourbridge Titans, and the away team Metalheads winning 25-1. And then the last game in this division was Leicester Blue Sox travelling to Long Eaton Storm as the home side won 12 runs to 5. And that sees the Worcester Sorcerers in the top spot with 6 wins, 0 losses. Telford Giants in second place with 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 tied game. Wolverhampton Wolves in third place with 5 wins, 3 losses, no tied. Long Eaton Storm with 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 tied. Leicester Blue Sox with 2 wins, 5 losses, the same as the Birmingham Metalheads. And at the bottom with 0 wins, 6 losses are the Stourbridge Titans. On now to the West County Baseball League. There was no action this week, but they did actually finish on the 8th, so I've got their results. The final results from across the season, it was 28 runs to 3 to the Plymouth Mariners against the Newton Brewers, and the Wellington Khaki Sox faced the Yeovil Whirlwinds, and it was the Whirlwinds that won 16-3. This means that the grand final takes place on the 22nd of August, with a repeat of that game of the Plymouth Mariners facing the Newton Brewers. So be prepared for this one. It's going to be a cracker, and I'll try and bring as much of that action as I can. Oh, and don't forget, you can also nominate all your players, as many as you want. There's no limit on how many submissions you can make. Get them over to BSUK. Look for them on Twitter for the Player of the Week nominations, or baseballsoftballuk.com/Player of the Week. Or if you go onto Twitter and find my pinned post, you can look at my link tree. There's a nomination form in there too. You can see from the scores that have gone through this week and some of the people that have had absolute stormers, they've all had great games. Why not get those people nominated? Your teammates, get them some love. And that's it from me from this week. Take care now. Have a great week of trading and enjoy your games on the Sundays. Take care. Ta-ra.